Along with a raft of measures, President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced in response to the foodborne illness crisis. He's also announced the establishment of a 500 million rand joint fund that's intended to support the development of township and rural businesses, including community convenience shops. The funding will be for the refurbishment of businesses and non-financial support in terms of technical skills, regulatory compliance and capacity building. In studio, I'm joined by Zamakhuba Radebe, and Thabo Mazibuko, all three entrepreneurs in the process of developing their own township and rural businesses. They are all part of the L+ Earn #Biz program, which supports young entrepreneurs from townships and rural areas across South Africa to grow their businesses and improve their financial well-being. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming in studio.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so.
I mean, Zama, let me perhaps start with you. I mean, we have listened to how funds have been unveiled. Well, they will be unveiled, 500 million rand, all geared at boosting the impact of small business owners in the townships, in the rural areas. What are your thoughts, as you hear about such monies that will supposedly be used to benefit entrepreneurs in the township?
Well, I think it's important then, as the President has issued that statement, that these funds can then be able to really create the impact that they're supposed to do, because us on the ground, it has been a real challenge to be able to access some of these opportunities that are out there in order for us to be able to grow our businesses. So we welcome what he has said, and we look forward to see on the ground what is it that they can truly assist us with, particularly being in the space of manufacturing as well as agro-processing. It's very important for us to be able to tap into these tuck shops, because we are the manufacturers, we are the ones who will be supplying these stores with products. So it's important to cover the whole food chain in terms of being able to deal with this problem. So yes, I think.
So she raises an important point here. She speaks about impact as we try and make sense of how these funds will eventually reach entrepreneurs such as yourselves who are hoping to make an impact in the business space. What are your thoughts around such funds being announced?
Yeah, no, these funds are very important and crucial for us. But you see, the problem is awareness. Like in the township, you get a lot of like entrepreneurs who can persevere and have the right skills, but because of lack of awareness about such funds, they end up not knowing about them. And also another thing is like sometimes with these funds, compliance can be an issue. So you get someone who has a track record but doesn't maybe like have a business account. Like these funds maybe will require you to have like maybe a six months bank statement. So sometimes such things are an issue. If they can work around that, I think, this fund, they will see the impact of it. Yeah.
And of course, we're sitting with a man who knows all about compliance. Hey, Bonginkosi, your business is around bookkeeping, payroll services, tax management, business registration, consulting, which are big challenges when an entrepreneur thinks, I've got a genius idea. What next?
Okay, so I think we are moving forward because this 500 million will assist businesses to support in terms of compliance, because as small business owner, we are still struggling in terms of compliance, because we are still have a lack of knowledge in terms of CIPC and SARS. So which is now you will find that in terms of CIPC, the business is registered with CIPC, but the business owner is not a representative of the company with SARS. So which is now when you try to file the tax return, and then you will find that there are penalties that SARS charge. So which is now, I think we need a proper a plan from President, so which is in terms of the support of small businesses, because we are still struggling in terms of financial literacy. And I think Land-Biz program have assisted us with the compliance of businesses and with the finances, just to give us an overview in terms of the finances.
Yeah, the Entrepreneurial Planning Institute, as you speak about that program, Zamakhuba, you mentioned something really important. You spoke about the ecosystem, the importance of the ecosystem. It's all well and good to have spaza shops operating in the township, but entrepreneurs such as yourselves don't have products on the shelf.
Indeed.
And you, I mean, we're looking at your products here on the table. These are amazing products that one would want to boost their health. Talk to us a little bit about your product range and your passion in the health and wellness space.
All right. So African Indigenous Snacks is a brand that celebrates health and wellness. We have a range of healthy snacks. We've got dry fruits, dry vegetables, and breakfast muesli. So the brand is really about being able to offer a variety of health alternatives. As we see even now, we are having issues with some of the children being poisoned by snacks and biscuits and such things in particular. So I think it's important as you are talking about the fund, because even I myself struggle with compliance in terms of being in the food space, because it's an endless process. From getting one certification, there's the next one that you have to do. It's a long list of them, especially the food industry is very stringent. So I think it's very paramount then not only to have the products that are already there that are common, but also to tap into actually the local manufacturers. How are they going to be assisted also to make sure that, as you're saying, their products are able to reach the shelves, because then that will be sustainable economy for all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tabano, you're also in the food space, running Freshly Organic, operating in the township. And of course, health and wellness is a big, big space, right? That needs to be accessible, needs to be affordable.
True. Yeah, that's where we come in with Freshly Organic. We're trying to fill up that massive gap, especially in the township, where you see healthy products are scarce. So, but now the problem, as Zamo highlighted, is this thing of compliance. I feel like if maybe the government can maybe assist with some form of a workshop, local entrepreneurs to know about how can they go about, registering and being compliant, so that they can maybe access funding and scale their businesses. So even in my case, I feel like I'm stagnant because of compliance. So if we can maybe get some form of assistance when it comes to that space.
And it's a big, big deal when it comes to food, right? There are so many tiers, as you mentioned. Before you get onto a massive retail store, you need to have crossed and checked a number of steps. And as we speak about compliance, I know you do a lot as BOH consulting for small businesses in the township. What are some of the challenges you've encountered when people, we're talking about funds. Any one of you could access a part of that 500 million rand, but of course it's important that you're able to meet certain criteria. What are the biggest challenges you've seen small entrepreneurs, navigating around and failing to even qualify for funds, and speaking a lot about the red tape?
I think one of the challenges is compliance, and then the other one is managing finance. So which is now most of our business owners use their personal business personal account to do the businesses, so which is now they don't have a track record in terms of bookkeeping, and then they cannot prove to the third party that they are operating. So which is now we are still trying to check the solution that we can use to solve the compliance issue. So which is now we have tried to introduce new packages that maybe will assist companies businesses that are dormant, so which is not operating, but they are still trying to get in the market. So which is now they will pay an annual fee, so which is we will do the compulsory compliance, so which is to file the return with SARS and file the return with CIPC, and we are still trying to approach municipality in terms of COF, COA, so
the
certificate of acceptability, and in terms of business license. So we are still trying to find a solution in terms of compliance, but yeah, most of our business owners are still struggling in terms of compliance, so which is now, that's why they are struggling to get funding.
Yeah, yeah. As I mean, the whole of South Africa has been watching how many children are dying from, you know, supposedly eating and consuming foods from spaza shops that are local, operating in townships. And the big matter here has been around the 21 days of registration for foreign-owned spaza shops. What is the perspective as a small business owner as you look at the small gains that you could make, being able to place these foods within spaza shops? What do you think the big challenge is when it comes to the ownership problem and, of course, compliance, ensuring that there are food safety measures in place?
I think what you said is very crucial. Having the necessary measures in place for all food establishments, not just only tuck shops, but also restaurants and food manufacturers as well, to be compliant and have certain systems in place that will ensure that whatever it is that they're producing is still within the acceptable standard and is healthy for the people to be able to consume. And I think there are certain programs that are in place to assist in terms of the groundwork, being able to do product testing, which we have been fortunate enough to be able to do product testing and other things. But as I said, that there's also other things like the COA, the HACCP, the ISO. So it's a continuous process, and I think yes, it's important also to have the programs in place where training can be provided, but also most even crucial more than that is the resources, because I've undergone the training, I've done training through the Department of Social Development, through COJ, Food Resilience Unit, which has an agro-processing unit in it, and they have been very crucial in our development as a business in partnership with Wakanda. So they have really done their part, but at the same time, what is the next level in order for you to be able to now get the products to be able to reach the shelves, as you are saying? So I think it needs to be a balance of both, not just training, but also training and resources, of which I think the funds that have been, or are rather going to be made available, can assist in that. But at the same time, there needs to be certain measures in place to make sure that the funds are able to reach where they are supposed to reach, because oftentimes we hear of different fundings, CIFA funding and different types of funding that we normally do apply in, but sometimes we don't get response, and so it will be crucial then to know what type of measures is the government going to set in place to make sure that these funds are able to reach the people that it can create the impact that is greatly needed to take our country to the next level, because other countries are advancing in terms of their agro-processing and different types of manufacturing that we can even start importing and exporting. They are bringing their products here. What are we bringing to the table? Why aren't there measures in place to make sure that our products or our businesses are prepared for the future that is developing and is happening in the world, not just in South Africa?
Yeah, absolutely. Thabo, just rounding off with you, you speak about the organic aspect of creating foods that will benefit one's health and wellness. What would you say are some of the advances that you'd like to make as a small business, being able to access resources? I mean, you're part of a program, but of course, there's always the next level.
Yeah, for now, I think if I can maybe like scale my business, like scalability, it's a problem. And also, I feel like, food security is very important.
Yeah.
Your
the
health.
president is talking about it now in Brazil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your health is your wealth. You can never buy your health back. So I feel like the government, if it can maybe think about it, it's not really a must. Maybe subsidize people who are into that space, like other countries are doing it. So I don't think it's a plan that is doable if maybe they can see the feasibility of it. But I feel like we are contributing to the larger population when it comes to food security. So yeah, in my case, I feel like if I can scale my business maybe beyond Gauteng, maybe to other provinces and hopefully outside South Africa, that will be great.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in studio. It was wonderful having you with us. Of course, wrapping up that conversation with two entrepreneurs, Zamakhuba Radebe, Bonginkosi Dolo, and Thabo Mazibuko. 3 entrepreneurs in the process of developing their own township and rural businesses. They're all part of the L+ Earn #Biz program, which supports young entrepreneurs from townships and rural areas.